Those words didn't just echo across one interview. They thundered across political circles, talk shows, and social media platforms. A sharp, cutting remark that pierced through the carefully polished image of a former president who once promised hope and change. But let's rewind for a moment. Who is Karoline, and why does her voice matter so much in this moment? Because in politics, words are weapons, and when someone dares to fire at a figure like Barack Obama, it isn't just gossip. It's a statement. It's a challenge to the very idea of leadership itself. Karoline's accusation is simple yet devastating. Obama lectured the public, preached about sacrifice, integrity, and responsibility, and then retreated behind the protective walls of lucrative Netflix deals, book contracts, and a celebrity lifestyle. Think about that for a second. Here is a man who once stood on the world stage as the most powerful leader alive. He told Americans to fight for fairness, to tighten belts during economic crises, to rise above corruption and greed. He told young people to get involved, to give back, to believe in something bigger than themselves. And yet, today, the image painted by Karoline is not of a leader on the front lines, but of a figure enjoying the rewards of fame, hiding behind entertainment platforms, while others carry the burden. That's why her words hit so hard. On one side, the outrage is undeniable. Political commentators are asking, did Obama cash out on the presidency? Did he turn his moral authority into a brand? These are not small questions. They go to the heart of what we expect from those who once held the highest office. And yet, on the other side, there is silence. No fiery defense, no passionate counterattack, just a carefully managed quiet. Silence, too, speaks volumes. Now, let's step deeper into the meaning of Karoline's critique. When she says, "You lectured us," she is not just speaking about speeches or words. She's pointing to the power imbalance between leaders and ordinary people. Leaders stand on podiums, wag fingers, call for sacrifice, but ordinary people pay the price. Workers lose jobs, families struggle with bills, students drown in debt, citizens are asked to live with less, while politicians seem to live with more. And the second part of her accusation, then hid behind Netflix deals, is more than just a jab at media contracts. It's a metaphor. It's about comfort zones. It's about escaping into the safety of entertainment and wealth while the people you once represented wrestle with real-life crises. It's about retreat, about choosing luxury instead of leadership, about becoming a brand instead of a voice. That's why the question Karoline raises is so sharp, so cutting. Is leadership about giving lectures, or about making real sacrifices? Let's pause there. Think about the leaders who inspire. They aren't remembered for their speeches alone. They are remembered for what they gave up, what they risked, what they endured. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. didn't hide behind book deals. He marched, he risked prison, he gave his life. Leaders like Nelson Mandela didn't hide in comfort. He spent decades in a cell to prove his words meant something. So where does that leave Barack Obama? A man who broke history, who lifted spirits, who gave millions the sense that change was possible, but who, as Karoline suggests, may have stepped away from the battlefield too soon, too comfortably, too quietly. The public is torn. Some say, let him live. He served. He gave his 8 years. He deserves his peace. But others, fueled by Karoline's fiery words, demand, number. If you still carry influence, if you still command attention, then you still carry responsibility. This is where the debate becomes bigger than Obama, bigger than one Netflix contract. It becomes a debate about every leader, every politician, every voice that once stood on a podium and asked ordinary people for faith. Because when you inspire hope, you inherit a lifelong responsibility. Hope is not a one-term job. Hope is not something you can sign off on like a contract. Hope binds you to the people who believed in you. Karoline's attack is not just about hypocrisy. It's about accountability. It's about holding leaders to the same standards they demanded from us. And so the fire spreads. Commentators are weighing in. Social media hashtags explode. Memes, clips, fiery threads. Some defend Obama fiercely, arguing that his Netflix work is just another form of storytelling, another way to shape culture. Others, however, call it betrayal, a retreat into celebrity comfort while the world burns. In coffee shops, in classrooms, in living rooms, people are debating. What is the role of a former president? Should they disappear, enjoy their retirement, cash their checks? Or should they remain active, visible, using their influence to confront injustice wherever it rises? The anger in Karoline's voice is not just personal. It's generational. It's the anger of young activists who feel abandoned. It's the frustration of people who still march in the streets, who still knock on doors, who still fight the battles they thought a president had promised to help them win. And that's why her words resonate. You lectured us, then hid behind Netflix deals. Because those words hold a mirror. And in that mirror, people don't just see Obama. They see every leader who preached sacrifice but lived in privilege. They see every politician who promised change but delivered comfort for themselves. So what happens next? The silence cannot last forever. At some point, Obama, or someone close to him, will have to respond. Maybe with defense, maybe with justification, maybe with a redirection of the narrative. But silence leaves a vacuum, and vacuums get filled with anger. And this story is not just about politics. It's about trust. It's about betrayal. It's about the fragile thread that ties leaders to the people who believe in them. Once that thread breaks, it doesn't matter how many Netflix deals you sign. Trust doesn't stream. Trust doesn't trend. Trust doesn't sell. The real question, the one Karoline forces into the open, is this: what is the price of leadership after power? Do you get to walk away, cash your checks, and enjoy your fame? Or does true leadership mean you never stop giving, never stop fighting, never stop standing where it hurts? The answer is not simple. But the fire is spreading. And Karoline's voice, sharp and uncompromising, has made sure the debate won't fade away. So here we stand. The headline echoes again. Karoline fires back at Obama. You lectured us, then hid behind Netflix deals. And the question remains, in the end, is leadership about words, or about sacrifice?